Hi guys, I'm coming in to see if I'm buffering or not. Okay, I still hear an echo. Just turn your phone down a little bit, sweetie. Okay. Am I buffering? I don't see where I'm buffering on my phone. Am I buffering? I'm live now. Am I buffering? I came in to make sure. Nope, she says I'm good. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're good.
Yay!
Yay!
One little victory.
Not buffering. Oh my God, good. Okay. YouTube said they have the issue fixed. So let's see. I hear an echo on your end, Susan. I mean, oh God, Stephanie, I hear an echo.
Shut.
Check. I still hear an echo. Do you hear it?
Big Mac.
Hello?
Nope, we're not even logged in.
Okay, no, we're actually live. That's what I'm telling you. I hear the echo.
Sorry about that. It could be. I don't know, but it's not the computer.
Okay. Yeah, it's an echo. It's a bad echo.
Well, you want to drop me and pull me back up? See if that helps.
Okay. Testing. Okay, do you have anything else open? Do you have YouTube open or anything else anywhere?
Nope. No, ma'am. You see my Macs? I got the Big Mac and the Mini Mac. They're not open. There's nothing open because we just restarted everything.
Okay. There's an echo. Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do.
All right.
When I'm talking,
no. When I'll come back because this phone probably maybe open YouTube automatically. So if my phone might be on YouTube.
Okay.
I told you I'm not good with this, girl. So
okay, go out and hit the link again and come back in and make sure YouTube is closed. Okay.
You got it.
Okay, guys. Okay, I'm gonna play the music and we're gonna get started, guys. Sorry, it was a bad issue earlier, but we're gonna do this. Let's see how this turns out. Let's go. I'm ready. Okay, guys, I am back. I am just waiting for Stephanie to come back in. I'm so sorry, but earlier that seems to have been an issue with YouTube. As soon as I got offline, it showed me that there was an issue, and I am just ready to present this so we can know what we're going through. But thank you guys for sticking with me. I really, really appreciate it. So we're going to wait till Stephanie gets back here. Oh, everybody's back. Thank you. So we have Susan back in the house, Crazy Cat Mama. We have let me see. Carrie Ann, welcome. Who else? Mona is back. Let's see. The baby turtle is here. Beauty by KK is back. Okay. All right. We're going to go through this. Soon as Stephanie gets back, I had created this whole presentation and we were doing great until YouTube decided to act the fool. So I want to just get you guys back into this. Where is my window? There is my screen share. So as soon as she gets back in here, we're going to go through this. I'm just going to pull it down for a minute. So guys, I'm sorry. So everything's good. No buffering, no nothing, correct? Okay, great. We're good. Stephanie gets back in here, but just to give you a little backstory, I'm going to give you. So Stacey Stites, at the time, she was 19 years old. Stacey was found off a rural road. She was strangled, assaulted, and murdered. And this happened on April 23rd. Now, Stacey was working at a store, a grocery store, like 30 miles from where she was living at. And her shift was supposed to start at 3:30. She never showed up for her shift. So a store clerk phoned the mother to see where she was. And the mother in turn called the police. The police came out around 3 o'clock that afternoon. Somebody was on the road and noticed a body laying out in this rural road, and they came out. So that's where we are with that. Let me pull up this presentation for you. When Stephanie gets here, I will pull her in, but we're going to get through this before we start having issues, okay? So let me give you a full view so you can see it. Okay, so we're going to start out with, let me get my presentation up so I can see it myself. So here's the victims. So here's Stacey Stites. This is Stacey. We have Rodney Reed, and we have Stacey's fiance, Jimmy Fennell, okay? Stacey Stites, as I told you, was found dead April 23rd. She was wearing, at the time she was found, she was wearing a black bra. She was wearing jeans. The zipper on her jeans were broken. Her shirt was removed. Strangulation marks were around her neck. Part of the belt she was wearing was found near her body. The other part was near the vehicle that she was driving. Her body was partially burned. Her shirt was found nearby, and a couple of Busch beer cans were found near her body. The truck that she was driving was found near the high school, a mile or a mile and a half from Rodney Reed's residence, okay? So then we have Rodney Reed. Rodney Reed has been on death row for 22 years. He's housed in Livingston, Texas, and that's like 45 minutes from me. Rodney was charged on April 4th, 1997, almost a year after Stacey was found murdered. He was found guilty of abduction, rape, and murder. He was sentenced to death on May 18th, 1998. November 15, 2019, he was granted an indefinite stay of execution, which I told you guys earlier, that is unheard of in the state of Texas. The prosecution, the state was asking for a stay for 120 days, but he was granted an indefinite stay of execution. And November 20th was his scheduled execution day. Okay, so his new hearing is scheduled for this Monday. It was scheduled before, but because of COVID, they had to postpone it. Well, I shouldn't say COVID, but because of the pandemic, they had to postpone it. And Stephanie is not back yet. I'm just checking. So we're going to look at Jimmy Fennell. Okay, this is Stacey's fiance. They were 18 days from being married when she was found. At the time, he was a rookie officer in Giddings, Texas. Now, Stacey was found in Bastrop, Texas. She was driving Jimmy's truck on that morning, and that's the truck she's normally known to drive. Jimmy served 10 years for kidnapping and sexually assaulting a woman in his custody in 2007. At that time, he was a Georgetown officer. So let's just look at Jimmy real quick, okay? So the young lady's name was Connie. She called the police after she and her partner had a domestic dispute, well, a domestic argument. Her partner was arrested. Jimmy then drove Connie. Don't ask me why Connie got in his car or where they were, that it just said that it was a domestic argument. I don't know if they were in a bar, wherever they were at, but he drove her to a rural area. Remember that, a rural area, put a gun to her head and raped her. He warned her never to tell anyone or he'll come back and kill her. Well, when she got to her home, so undoubtedly, when they said when she returned home. So when she got to her home, she did call, made a report. Jimmy's partner showed up at her house. She was dialing 911. He took the phone and hung up. Well, next thing you know, she was arrested for public drunkenness. When she was arrested, everybody started listening to what she was saying. They started listening. Then Jimmy pled guilty to raping her, and he was sentenced to 10 years. He was released in 2018. So we're going to just go through Jimmy real quick. Jimmy had another girlfriend that he dated 3 months after Stacey was found murdered. Her name was Pam. She stated that Jimmy was very jealous. He was very controlling. When she tried to break up with him, he stalked her. He threatened her. She said he was possessive. He was jealous. He threatened any guy that flirted with her. He would drive by her house night after night. He would just do it. He would shine his spotlight through her windows. He would be standing outside screaming at her, calling her bitches and all kind of other names. She was frightened. She filed a police report. When they went to look for the police report, when her friend went to the police station to locate her police report, it was not there. So that means that they never filed it. They never did. I mean, they took it. They didn't file it. They did nothing with it. Stephanie is still not back. That's fine. She'll come in when she can. I'm going to drop this link down here just in case she needs it. I'm trying to see. This is this whole case stinks. So Stephanie is a cousin to Jimmy Fennell. When she was up before, she stated how the men in the family are abusive. They're really nasty. She said that her father, Stephanie's father, tried to kill her mother. Now he is a reborn again Christian. He's a pastor in this church. Let's see. But Jimmy has a bad history with abusing women and treating women all kind of ways. So that's okay. So let me pull this back up because I took it down. So when it comes to Rodney Reed, he's the one that's sitting on death row for this murder. So Reed, his DNA matched 2 unsolved rape cases. One was a 12-year-old girl in 1989. The other was a woman that was raped along the railroad tracks 6 months prior to Stacey's murder. So 6 months prior to Stacey's murder, he raped someone else. Another woman stated that he assaulted her, but he was later acquitted of those charges. He said that they were in a consensual relationship. She made fun of him doing sex and he struck her. November 19th, Linda S., and we're going to talk about Linda. Linda S. said she was giving him a ride. When she went to drop him off, my eye is itching. When she went to drop him off, he started punching her and demanding sex. The only thing that saved Linda was car lights were coming towards them. And and Rodney jumped in her car and drove off. And he was stopped because he met the description that she gave, and she picked him out of a lineup immediately. Now, let's just talk about Linda for a minute, because this is where it gets really, really good. So with Linda, I'm sorry, I'm screaming. With Linda, she was an exotic dancer, and she danced in Austin. Okay. She was also known to entertain judges and many other public officials in Bastrop, Texas. So it was stated that this other lady named Angela, Wendy, and Vivian had never, ever met or seen Rodney before. So how did she pick him out of a lineup? That smells like a setup. We also need to note that Linda had, 3 DWIs in different Texas counties, okay? So she is not the pillar of anything. This woman has a lot of issues, okay? So are we following along with this? Is everything good? Hi, Miss Manda. Hi, Deadly Sin. I see you're back. So this case is really bad. So when hi Susan. So here's the thing about Bastrop, Texas. And if Stephanie gets her butt back up here, Bastrop, Texas, and she stated it herself, it's a redneck town. It's really redneck. There's little or no colored, brown or black, and any colored people in this little town. They're really racist there. Okay. So she stated it herself. This is where her family is from. And she will tell you that she herself likes to date Black men, which is frowned upon in that area. So that's the pattern of behavior that we had for Rodney. So what are we going? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to present you everything that I've come up with, everything that's out in the court documents, everything that's there. And then I want you guys to decide, should he have been given the state of execution? Was it a rush to judgment? Or should he have just been, it's only 45 minutes maybe from Austin, but it's like 100 years behind. Yes, it is. I go through Bastrop and Luling and all of that on my way to San Antonio. So, but I hear they have really good barbecue there. So I don't know, but let's just get back to this, because I don't want to start buffering again. And I want to get you guys' opinion on this case. I don't know where Ms. Lucas is, but she will pop in here as soon as she can. So let me put this back on screen for you guys. So I'm going to take you through this really quick. So then we have, I gave you the pattern of behavior. So here are the mistakes that were made during the investigation. Okay. Jimmy's house was never, ever searched. There was never a search warrant requested to search his home. And this is the last place she was known to be alive. Never searched, okay? The truck that Stacey was driving was returned to Jimmy 6 days after the murder. And at that time, he was a suspect. He was the primary suspect, as a matter of fact. Stacey's belt, which was used to strangle her, was never, ever tested for DNA. Never tested. It's set in a box, not in a plastic bag. I had the picture of the box, but it was so small, I could put it on the screen and you guys still wouldn't be able to see it. But the belt is just sitting in this box. It's not in a plastic bag. Her jeans and everything are just sitting in a box. No plastic bag, no nothing. Okay. So the reasons for the state of execution, okay, like I was just telling you, so there's a reason for the state of execution. As soon as I get this, I'm trying to bring up this other screen so you guys can see it, and it's not allowing me to do it. Okay, so the reason for his state of execution, and this is what the Texas court system has found. And as you see, I said the murder weapon Stacey's belt was never tested. And you'll see that they've requested this belt be tested time and time again. They're refusing to test it. The belt was in, I saw the pictures of the belt marks around her neck and goes up to her cheek. It was definitely used as a murder weapon. They've repeatedly denied it. The Texas Court of Criminal Appeals, they've repeatedly denied having this belt to be tested. The United States Supreme Court declined to review the Texas court denial in 2018. They refused to review it. Remember, I said there were 2 beer cans found near her body. The 2 beer cans that were found, DNA was taken by the DPS, which is the Texas Department of the Texas Public Safety Lab. This is bad. When they swabbed the DNA, one of the swabs matched Fennell's good friend, Officer David Hall. But the information was given, the investigators gave the information to the prosecutors, who never relayed the information to the defense attorneys. Never told the defense attorneys anything about this. Never, ever, ever. So that's another reason why he was granted this indefinite stay of execution. The state forensic experts admitted to errors in their testimony. Okay. They're saying that they have submitted affidavits stating that the testimony given related to Stacey's time of death was inaccurate, making the prosecutor's timeline of Rodney alleged killing her impossible. It is impossible. So everybody is coming forward now. Rodney Reed and Stacey Stites were in a consensual relationship. Remember, he said he was in a consensual relationship with this other lady. Well, at the time of the trial, no one came forward. No one. New witnesses, including Stacey's cousin, her co-worker, and everybody is corroborating what Rodney is saying right now. They knew that he and Stacey were in a romantic relationship. Charles Fletcher, who was an officer with Bastrop County Police Department, and he was a friend of Jimmy Fennell, stated that Jimmy told him before Stacey's murder that he believed Stacey was having an affair with a black man. He believed she was having an affair with a black man. Okay, let me see what you guys are saying in the chat, because I cannot, as I'm presenting this, I can't see what you guys are saying because I have everything open. Oh my God, Butterfly Kisses, that's your husband's name. Oh, yes, Hall is dead. Stephanie, do you want me to drop this is, oh my God, this is, yes, the beer cans match his friends. They actually got the DNA from one of his partners, one of his friends that were on the police force. Oh, you've been over this case for 15 years. I'm going to drop the link in the chat. So if anybody wants to come up, please feel free to come up. Let's see. I'm just looking, because while I'm there, and thank you, Miss Manda, for being here. Thank all of you guys for being here. I really appreciate it. Okay, so let's get back. Yeah, this is crazy. So let me get back to this, because I do not want us to start buffering again, and then we can discuss it after I give you guys everything that's out there. So we have some renowned forensic experts that are calling into question, medically and scientifically. They're saying that it's impossible. So the prosecution's only forensic evidence linking Rodney to the crime was semen taken from Stacey's body, which was attributed to consensual relationship between them. The prosecution used this to connect Rodney with the murder, and they refute that there was a consensual relationship. They're saying there's no way in the world there was a consensual relationship, but yet you have Jimmy telling his partner that he knows that Stacey was seeing a black man. Okay, so even the forensic experts has come back to said this. Let me see. Then we have, for months after the murder, Jimmy Fennell was a prime suspect. Okay, so in a recording, police investigators indicates that Jimmy was suspected in Stacey's murder. He was believed to be motivated because of her relationship with another man. They had him saying this. Okay, they had them saying this. Then even his best friend said that the story he gave for his whereabouts that night that Stacey went missing or was murdered is inconsistent. Okay, it's very inconsistent. Let me see. He stated that he saw Stacey at the apartment that they shared. Okay, he said it, and that was during the actual time of her death. Dr. Michael Bodden updated his testimony, which, it contradicts his initial claim because of the new evidence that's come forward. When Jimmy was asked to explain the discrepancies, he declined. He said he pleads the fifth because it may incriminate him. So he pled the fifth because it may incriminate him. Then you have witnesses that are now coming forward and sign affidavits. Now, guys, this is where it gets good. You have witnesses that came forward. You have an insurance person that stated that Jimmy threatened to kill Stacey while applying for life insurance. You have a second witness who was a deputy in Lee County Sheriff's Office at the time of the murder. And Jimmy made an alarming, incriminating statement regarding Stacey's body at her funeral. He said she got what she deserved. That's what he said. She got what she deserved. Remember, he served a 10-year sentence for a sex crime. Now, this crime was committed while he was on duty. The case, they're saying, is racially charged because Rodney's a black man. And Stacey was a white woman, and it was an all-white jury. Okay, jury. And then Jimmy's confession when he was in prison. He was trying to get in his Aryan Brotherhood. Okay, Jimmy stated that, and he told this to Andrew Snow. He said, "I had to kill my in-loving fiance." That's what he stated. Then another lady that was in the academy with him, her name is Mary. I'm not going to give you her last name. She said that when they were cadets in the academy in 1995, she said one day during a break, she overheard Jimmy telling another classmate if he ever found that his girlfriend was cheating on him, he would strangle her. She testified, and she put this in an affidavit. She said she looked over her shoulder and told him, "You would leave fingerprints." And he stated that that's where you don't know shit. If I strangle her with a belt, is what he said. If he strangled her with the belt, it wouldn't leave fingerprints. Okay, so you have other officers that are now coming forward, and they are telling their story about, oh, there she is. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Can you see me?
I see you.
Am I echoing?
when you're talking, I'm going to mute myself. So give them a little give them a backstory of your family.
Which part? What do you want to hear about, the dads, or
I want to hear about the men. I want to live about Bastrop and everything.
Okay, well, like we talked about earlier, Bastrop's a really so sorry and just, oh my gosh. Am I echoing? Not echoing?
No, because I turned my mic off.
Okay, yeah, it took us like 30 minutes to figure out how to log out of YouTube via a phone. I told you I'm not tech savvy. But no, like I said, again, Bastrop's is a very, very small in town, and very small-minded town. And I think I was telling you earlier, Heidi, these people across the street here that just moved in like 24 hours ago have already hung up 2 Trump signs, 2 Confederate flags, and 2 other things that I cannot even recognize. And that's the way people kind of think around here. People hold law enforcement and government officials to a very high standard. They tend to trust them here because their family members are typically one, and you back them. You will always back them no matter what. And even if they're wrong, these people will still back them up.
So what is your relationship to Jimmy?
And Jimmy is my cousin. He's my first cousin. And he's my dad's brother's son. And he's about my age. We're about the same age. And but even like I said, my dad was violent, you know, and my mom picked me up with the backpack and in a diaper bag and ran out with me because my father, so I you know, was the same way, very abusive. So I can't imagine.
So is it true your father tried to kill your mother?
Absolutely. And then she went on to have a string of other marriages where stuff like that would happen, like people burning our house down, you know, in prison time. I mean, it's very, when some women fall into this category. Now, Stacey was not. She was very, very beautiful and very educated and seemed kind of smart. But these men pull in these smart women, you know, and I think she had been a victim of that, but deep down inside of her heart, she wanted to do something else, and that was to not be with Jimmy, which she'd made clear to many, many employees that she worked with at the HEB there in Bastrop. She told them she's scared of them, and she wanted to leave, you know, and but their wedding was just like 3 weeks away.
It was like 18 days away from their wedding.
Yeah, they actually buried her in her wedding gown. And Jimmy made a big old scene about putting the ring on her finger as he buried her. And while telling people at the funeral, the bitch got what she deserved. And that's on statement. And that will be coming out in the case.
Yep, it's on statement. So your feelings are, do you believe that Jimmy actually killed Stacey?
I know Rodney Reed did. I firmly believe that he did not do it. Now, did Jimmy do it himself, or did he let somebody else do it? I mean, because his friends were there. They were all drinking beer. You know, I mean, they could have taken some of that DNA from Rodney Reed's previous cases and inserted it into her to make him look guilty, even though he admitted to having sex with her 24 hours before.
Now, here's the thing.
But okay, do I think Jimmy did it himself? I don't know, because I got to be honest with you. These are the people that they do together sometimes. And so nobody's held liable per se. Does that make any sense? You know what I mean? So I think they all played a role in it. Or unless the other 2 guys were the other 2 cops with the beer can DNA were just so sadistic that they said, oh, let's just watch this happening.
Okay, I'm gonna need you just to turn your volume down, son, because I have to tell him something. Now, with that being said, Jimmy had stopped Rodney and his cousin 2 weeks before Stacey was murdered.
Right.
And they warned them about speeding, not warned them, supposedly they got a ticket. I need you to turn your volume off because the echo is bad right now. So they stopped Rodney and his cousin and for a moving violation. That paperwork was never found in the police department either, nor did they log in that stop. Okay, so, oh my God, this whole case makes me sick. You know, we have him saying that she got what she deserved. So in Rodney's case, a petition through freerodneyreed.com, it received 2 million signatures. The Innocence Project picked up his case. Another 500 people signed a change.org petition for him to get a new trial. So my thing is, I don't know why the Texas State Supreme Court is refusing to test that belt, which I don't know what evidence could be on it because it wasn't properly sealed. It wasn't the way you're supposed to have your evidence. Now you got to remember, this is, and I didn't tell you guys, Stacey had a daughter when she was 15 years old. She had a daughter. Her daughter's name is, if I'm not mistaken, is it Doris? You can turn your volume back on. You can turn your volume back up, Stephanie. She had a daughter at 15. Her daughter was adopted through the church with a couple, and it's an open adoption. Her daughter has made a statement. She states that she just wants all of this over with. You know, she wants to put this to rest. So, Stephanie, what do you think about all of that?
I also would like it to be put to rest. It's a little bit terrifying. It's just being related to people like this. I've had a lot of people kind of come at me because it's like we come from smaller communities and people know who you are and who you're related to. And like I said, when these people moved in across the street less than 24 hours ago and start hanging up their Confederate flag, I mean, I don't know who these people are. You know, you and I can't get emails back. It's kind of weird. So
okay,
it's all questionable. But yeah, I want this to be over, but I want justice to be served. And so it was a blessing.
Did you have to give a statement?
Yes, many times. I did in the first trial, you know, just to say I don't have any interest. I did not see anything. I don't know anything. And now it's basically kind of because the defense fund, and I'm active with the defense fund in this as a social worker, I'm very involved with seeing justice served for everybody. It didn't take long for my name to be put on the radar again. And when the case came back up, basically, when they were starting to talk about taking him off death row. And I'm just like, I was not there. I didn't see anything. I don't know anything. The only thing I can testify to is, you know, that I know the history of how these people behave, how they act. And I know what I've heard from people outside of the case, but I didn't see anything, you know. Obviously, if I did, I'd have already testified to that. But like I said, at the end of the day, it's about justice being served. And is Rodney Reed a good guy? Not really. Not really. But did he kill her? No. Did Richard? Yes. Or one of his cohorts, or all of them together. Who knows what these people do. I don't have that kind of mentality to get inside of that type of, I just don't. But
okay,
so did Jimmy do the actual act? I would think probably so, but I can't testify to that. And so You know,
Okay,
like I said,
I was going to
I've been
say
trying to
that.
stay involved, so I want to stay as uninvolved as possible.
Okay, so Stacey's cousin, Heather Stites, she gave several interviews, and she is on the outs with her whole family because she believes that Jimmy is the one that murdered Stacey.
Right. Yeah, she's been a staunch advocate for that. But they were apparently very, very close, her and Stacey. So if Stacey was going to confide into anybody, it would probably be her. So,
but a lot of people have come forward. Her co-workers, friends of Rodney's, ex-police officers stating that Jimmy knew she was having an affair with a black man.
That's right.
They said they have seen Stacey and Rodney together on more than one occasion. Now, someone in the chat asked, did Jimmy know Rodney? The only thing I found was when Jimmy stopped him.
He would know him because it's a small town. And I firmly believe that Jimmy knew well in advance that his girl was having. You don't have an affair in a small town, period, without everybody knowing. Everybody knows who you're sleeping with. They know where you shop. They know what kind of panties you wear because it's a small town. And he knew very freaking well, who you're having diddles with. I mean, you got to be real good to hide something like that, especially from a cop and being white and being black. Like I said,
Okay.
You are found. He knew it was going on, and that's why he pulled him over that night. It's those little threats. It's these little threats that they try to give you to let you know, hey, I know what you're doing, and I don't like it. And if you don't stop, then they'll take it to the next level. And that is what I don't like admitting about small towns and this and that, because I'm just so not into the race thing. But if you're sleeping with a black man in a small town, everybody knows about it.
Okay.
Period.
Yeah, because your audio is kind of yes. So your audio is kind of bad. So just turn your volume down for a second for me, baby. Okay. So Wanda, Stephanie is up here. She is Jimmy Fennell's first cousin. That's her dad's brother's son. And the whole family, meaning the men in the family, they've always been abusive. Her own father tried to kill her mother. Okay. Since she has come forward and made statements, she herself had been threatened. She's had a cross burned on her front yard. So yes, so she's just been, this whole case with everything that I found, guys, Rodney is not a good guy, not at all. Far from being a good guy. Jimmy is not a good guy. So with everything that's being found and the indefinite state of execution that, oh, she can't hear you. Stephanie, is there any way that you can just pick up your phone and hold it and talk directly into your phone?
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. I
So
keep turning it down when you say turn it down.
Yeah, no. Can you tell them about your experiences since you had to give your statement, please?
Well, the experience of giving the statement was pretty seamless. You go in and you see your lawyer. I always have a lawyer. It's always a good idea as a Texan. But the giving the statement was simplistic. It's the stuff that came afterwards. And I think it has to be because I did a lot of this incognito, where no one's supposed to know who you are. But him being a cop, I think he gets access to information that he's not supposed to have. And so, like I said, it's like, oh, she's saying she's Richard's daughter and this and that. And they know we're kind of all disconnected anyways. So it just kind of came to be, when I was in Houston. I'm not hard to find. I'm a writer. I use my own face. I'm not afraid to show my face. I use my real name. I don't use pen names. At the time, I didn't know how big some things would get, and how easy it was to track people back to who you really are, because I just didn't know. If I'd have known better, I'd have done better, which is called hide. But I didn't have that sense at that time. So it was a little bit later on that there was weird happening at my house in Houston. I lived off of Westheimer and Derry Ashford and Friar West Boulevard, and owned a condo there, free and clear and paid for. And just weird stuff started happening. And then someone came to my house. I was sexually assaulted. We're not even supposed to say that. SA'd. Because I didn't lock my door. I'm that person that I don't have any fear. I'm just very trusting, and it's, and I was also called a nigger lover. And so it kind of, they make it known who, and who they're coming from and why they're there. And so I sold my house. I lived in like Airbnbs, and I had a guy that I lived, for a while, and he actually got freaked out because he's a twin, and his twin is married to a Black woman who's an amazing goddess. Hello, Lisa. So it got to be a little too intense, and that's why I kind of moved back up here. And because my ex-husband's up here, and family people, I mean, they're white and crazy and redneck, but they're not racist, and they will keep me safe. And so, I mean, I live basically under another person's name up here. I don't get mail at my home address. Like I said, very few people have my address. And if you have my address, it's because I've sent you something, so.
Okay, I have a question for you. Are you in contact with Jimmy?
Hell no. No. Do you want me to be? I mean,
no. Your volume is okay. And no, Jimmy is no longer a cop. He was just released from prison, and he was on probation in 2018.
No, and I don't know what he does now. But I don't. I could ask some of the other cousins, because I can talk to my cousins, the other cousins, the little on down. Okay. I can't deal with him, and I won't.
Okay, can you turn your volume down again? I need to say some stuff. Okay, Wanda, if you want to reach me, I just put my information in there. Oh, you saw it. So we can definitely talk one-on-one. And then when you email me, I will give you my number. You can call me. But if I've said anything that's incorrect, please let me know. I pulled documents. I pulled depositions. I pulled the stuff that was available. And I just...
Because we want the truth. We want the truth. We want the truth. Anybody that has anything, that knows anything, that's all we want. So we know our truth, but we want the truth. Anybody, please help us. And I can make sure it gets to the right things and the right attorneys as well. But
okay,
I'm gonna mute myself again, but I just wanted to chime in that, hey, anybody, please. If you have any information at all on any of these people, or can help us get better to the truth and more to it, that would be awesome. I'm going to mute myself again.
Okay, so I mean, I just want to say that Wanda says that this case is near and dear to her heart. Now, do I believe that Rodney killed her with everything I found and I've seen? I think there is a big reasonable doubt in this case. And I think that's why the indefinite stay was given. Do I believe that Rodney needs to be in prison for the crimes he committed? Yes. Do I believe if Jimmy killed her, he needs to be in prison? Yes. As we see, he has a habit of stalking. He's a habit of being possessive. He has a habit of having these fits of rage and anger. So this is what's been documented. This is not something I'm saying. This is something that's been reported in the court system. And, you know, I think everybody deserves to know the truth. That includes Rodney's mother. And for some reason, the fact that he received that indefinite stay of execution in the state of Texas, it's unheard of. We don't do that. We do not do that here in Texas. And with all of these new people that are coming in and giving sworn statements, these are ex-police officers, people that knew him. This is what's really, and when I heard that the prosecution was given the DNA from the beer cans that matched Jimmy's friend, but was never turned over to the defense team. Well, I thought it was one.
It was two friends. It was two people, and they were both cops, I believe. I know for sure
Yeah,
one was a cop, but there was two cans with a match with two DNAs that they would not admit as evidence in the trial. I'm gonna mute myself again.
Yeah. So to me, there is a lot of stuff going on here that needs to be investigated. And I'm just like, I was blown away when I was going through and I was reading this. And, you know, someone's just saying that they wouldn't be surprised if Jimmy kills again. But if you look at, and I put up Rodney's pattern of behavior. I didn't put up Jimmy's pattern of behavior because I wanted to talk about it. This man lost his fiance 18 days before they got married, and he was dating someone 3 months later and threatened to kill her, stalked her, driving by her house, shining his police cruiser spotlight in her windows. This is a pattern of behavior with him as well. It's scary.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm pretty sure he had something to do with the death of the two guys. I think I might have sent you the link to that, to the Ed. Yeah. And both of those guys, within 6 months of the start of the investigation, the two people on the DNA beer cans, oh, they're dead.
They're dead. Oh, let me just read.
Okay. They're both dead.
Okay, I'm going to read this to you because she sent it to me, and this was scary. So this is an ex-cop that was on the case, and both of these people were murdered, and he said that he can see straight through the man's head. So they were shot and killed. This crime scene was wiped clean. It was wiped clean, and it's scary to know what's been going on, and no one seems to want to do anything about it. But now everybody wants to come through and talk about it. But so the guy's name, I forgot the ex-cop now. He's retired. He was at the crime scene for one guy named Ed. He said that you can see clear through his head, and they're blaming this all on Jimmy. His name is Paul Alexander. I found the article. He said that he has been retired for many years. He was on the crime scene when they found those two bodies, Ed, and I forgot the other guy's name. He said the whole crime scene was wiped clean. So it's a cover-up that's going on. It's a cover-up. Both of those guys whose DNA match, they're now dead. So the hearing on the 19th,
it's very convenient, isn't it? You know?
Yes. So the hearing on the 19th is to hear all of the new evidence, get the new witnesses in, and to see if they will give him a new trial. Am I correct on that?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure that I'm not mistaken on anything. But this is
hopefully it will just be a straight up exoneration. You know, that would be the penultimate. You know, the ideological ending would be to have him exonerated of this, but it's gonna take a while. You know, the legal process is not moving very quickly for anyone, and they're gonna drag this out a little bit. But at the same time, there's a lot of pressure. We're just trying to keep that pressure going up, because, like, you know, just like you said, none of these guys are good guys. But I don't want to see anybody killed for something they didn't do. You know, you can be a sick, weird pedophile, but at the end of the day, did you murder someone? Yeah. So, but yeah, hopefully this will go to a new trial, because like they don't ever do this in Texas, ever. Like, ever. They don't ever give anybody. They don't. You're zapped. You know, when they say you're zapped, they're going to kill you. That's what they do. And you don't get any sort of stay of execution like this at all.
Indefinite.
So they know something's wrong. They know something's amiss. So I wouldn't be surprised, though, if they drag it out, though. I would not be surprised. So be prepared for a minute, I guess. Okay, I'm gonna mute myself again.
Okay. So with that being said, my whole problem with this is now you have all of these police officers coming forward. They should be complicit, as far as I'm concerned. They should be complicit in covering up, because now they're coming in. Where were they back in, in 97 and 98? Why didn't they testify then? Now that, all of this is coming up now, you have people coming in and testifying. You have these officers that were his friends. Even when he went to jail for kidnapping and raping this other woman, why weren't they speaking up then? Now, all of a sudden, everybody is coming forward. Everybody's giving sworn statements. And to me, they are complicit in this whole situation. Oh, okay, Stephanie. She says, well, I disagree to a certain extent, but it's the other side of the coin, because we are so heavy-handed with we have several exonerations of death row. It's a grave situation. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Now, we've had one guy, I can't remember his name. This is like 10 years ago. They actually executed him here in the state of Texas, only to find out 6 months later that the man's DNA did not match for the crime that he was convicted of. And they were trying to get this DNA tested before. They kept denying it. So then the Innocence Project, they were able to get it. They had it tested, and he was not the party. So I think it was 6 or 7 months after the fact that he was executed. Now, for me, certain cases, kids, yes, if they did it, they need to do. But I don't think that Rodney needs to come out of prison. Whether he killed Stacey or not, he raped a 12-year-old girl. That's my feelings. That should be a life sentence. 12 years old. He's got so many rapes under his belt.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Like I said, at the end of the day, you got to serve your time for your crime. But don't be serving time for the crime you didn't commit. Is he a sick pedophile and a rapist and a woman beater? Absolutely. But so is the other party involved. And yeah, as far as Texas goes with the death penalty and stuff, this is off topic. But yeah, they really like to do that here. And that's the only reason I ever got on board with like the project, like the Innocence Project and the Right to Life, and then also with the Right to Die organization. Because I think if you're going to live in a state that wants to just kill people, then shouldn't you have the right to choose when you want to die? Die with dignity, dignity.org. If anybody is interested in stuff like that, please join that group, because you have the right to die with dignity. And if you are ill or whatever, you should do that. But here in Texas, like, so we don't hesitate to just put you up in there and get, or, lethal injection your butt. I mean, they do it all the time.
Yes, they do.
And it disturbs me a bit. I'd kind of, I don't know, everybody wants to talk about their tax dollars and this and that to support these people, but it's people like Rodney Reed that are going to get their butt pounded in jail most of the time, and they need to take that stuff, because we don't deal with child molesters.
Nope.
In Texas. Know that.
Now, Stephanie Collins is asking a question. I'm not sure what. I'm gonna need you to turn your volume down again, Stephanie.
Okay.
Stephanie, are you asking? You said, where did that come from? I never heard of that. What didn't you hear of? So that way I'll know exactly what question to answer, sweetie. Okay. No. Okay. He, on one sexual assault, he was found not guilty, but his DNA matched two unsolved rape cases, and one included a 12-year-old girl, and another one included a rape that was committed 6 months prior to Stacey's death. And at the time, he was actually in jail on the charge on what Linda said, that he tried to rape her when she gave him a ride. He started beating her in her face and demanding sex.
Because Linda is lying, okay? She's lying. That woman's lying because she's trying to get off on those other charges she had, which was multiple charges. I think you mentioned that earlier. That
multiple charges.
Well, we'll just call her Linda S. We won't say her last name, but yeah, she was getting off. She was working with them. It's part of the cover up. Gonna mute myself again.
Okay, so as far as the child assault case goes, his DNA matched the DNA that was on that child and on another woman that was raped by the railroad tracks. Also, with the Linda situation, supposedly she gave him a ride. When she dropped it, when he was getting ready to drop her off, he started beating her in the face and demanding sex. A car came and he jumped in. He took off in her car, but I forgot to tell you guys that her car was later found in the same spot, in the same area that Stacey's car was parked at, and that was by the Bastrop High School. So that's what I forgot to tell you, which was both within a mile or a mile and a half from where Rodney Reed was staying. Yes.
Well, and one thing I was telling you about these smaller towns like this, everybody here lives within a mile of the high school. Everybody, pretty much the whole town. So if you're a younger person back 25 years ago, they weren't 50. They were in their 20s and early whatevers and so forth. So I wouldn't put a lot of stock in where a car is located, because to be honest with you, it's usually well lit and it seems a little bit safer than meeting at the 7-Eleven or something like that. So I don't know. I don't put any stock into that. What I hold stock in is history and DNA.
Okay, I believe that they said that Linda. I don't believe. Oh my God, how do I say that?
She is not telling the truth. She's not. I don't believe that woman at all. I don't. Now maybe they were getting together and he beat her up like he does all his other women. I don't know, but I don't think she was raped. And that's what I'm trying to figure it about this Vivian H, I guess we'll call her Vivian H, you know, because we're not trying to dox anybody. With the same thing around the 1996, I can't figure out who that is, because it all seems to come back and tie back to this Linda lady who has all these charges and who was a dancer for all the, wasn't she a dancer for all the judges and lawyers and stuff like that, right? So I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me, but I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm just kind of struggling. It's challenging for me to even talk about some of this stuff. It just brings back so much family history, and you guys, it's a trigger. It triggers me. This triggers me. But
so
the
what is your dad
trigger me
now?
more is, come again?
I said, what is your dad doing now?
My real father?
Yes.
Well, he's writing these shitty books that I was telling you about, Richard Fennell. Can you see that?
Yes, I see it.
They're really shitty books. I told you they suck. And he's always a doctorate of theology, so he's busy being a minister.
Oh, Stephanie is a criminal attorney. Yes, Stephanie, I pulled all of this. Oh my God. Stephanie, where do you practice? Are you here in Texas?
No, I'm not.
No, not you, Stephanie. I'm talking to Stephanie in the chat.
Oh, okay, yeah. If she's a criminal attorney, hey, we need to know this, Stephanie.
Oh my goodness. Well, anyway, guys, this is what we have on Monday. Could you turn that volume down again, ma'am? I'm gonna kill your phone.
Yeah.
Okay, so on Monday, when he goes into the courtroom, hopefully sometimes they have cameras in and you can go in virtually and watch. Sometimes they don't, but I'm going to try my best. Travis County, girl. Okay. I'm going to try my best because I really want to be in there and I want to hear all the evidence that they have. I think I pulled everything that I saw, but I want to see if more people have come forward. But remember, they were supposed to go to trial last year. They were supposed to do this last year, but because of the pandemic, they had to push it out. So now the hearing is set for Monday. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to take notes. He's either going to get a new trial, or it's just three possibilities: exoneration, new trial, or a new execution, or he goes back to death row and they carry through with his execution. That's it. That's just the three choices, right?
So Stephanie, Travis County, that's Austin, like Austin area, right? But we know all kind of criminals in Austin. Hey, it's always good to know a good criminal attorney in Texas. You always need one, because you never know.
Yeah, but thank you for being here, Stephanie. And if I've said anything, turn that volume down, lady. If I have said anything that's incorrect, please let me know, because I have pulled everything. I went through, I looked at the depositions. I looked at the new, the stuff that they presented so people can see. I looked at Change.org. I looked at the rally. The attorneys were speaking. And then I took notes from everything I found and I came up. But if I've said anything incorrect, same with you, Wanda, please let me know. I will be more than happy to correct myself. But guys, please let me know what you think. I will be following this on Monday. I definitely want to see what happens, because this is unprecedented in the state of Texas when you get an indefinite stay. If there has been another indefinite stay, I don't ever remember hearing about it. Oh, thank you, Stephanie. She says I'm solid on it all. Ooh, thank you. But I just want to say that when I started looking at the patterns of behavior, then when I started looking into Jimmy and then talking to his cousin, and then when I see that not only does Jimmy's cousin believe he did it, Stacey's cousin believed he did it. And now her whole family, they're on the outs because they just want this to be over with. And I understand they want it to be over with. But I just feel that the truth needs to be spoken. We need to know the truth. Everybody needs to know the truth. So however it turns out, I'm here for it. Thank you very much. Maureen is saying it was an excellent interview. Oh, thank you. And Stephanie, she's telling you that you did a great job too, guys. If anybody has any other comments, we're going to go ahead. Stephanie, I'm going to give you some last words. But after this, we're going to go out. And please leave me some comments. Let me know if you have more information on what your thoughts on this case are. And I hate to pull the race card in this, and I don't like using it, but I do believe that there's some type of cover up. It's just too much in one little town and I'm gonna be like Stephanie, it's a small town. Most people know who's sleeping with who, they know who's related to who, they know when you leave your house. So, and for him to say that he had to kill his in-loving girlfriend is sad. And then, for him to tell someone else that he knows that she was sleeping with a black man. All of these people now are coming out the woodworks and giving these statements. Where were they when all of this stuff was going on? The defense at the time had 2 witnesses that said they saw them, but they weren't allowed to testify, or they weren't available to testify at the original trial. So that's all I'm saying. Stephanie, I'm going to give you these last words, and then we're going to be out of here.
I really want to thank everybody, for anybody that's listening, for actually sitting through this and for bearing with us tonight through our multiple technical difficulties. And again, if you have any sort of information that can be helpful and useful, like I said, we're not trying to see any bad guys go free, but we want the bad guys to be doing what they're supposed to be doing for what they did. Yeah, not anybody else. And thanks for bearing with me. Like I said, I'm kind of a hot mess because I've been scrambling around with the techno gadgets, and then just talking about this is it's a little bit challenging for me because, like everybody else, I want it to be over. I thought it was over, but let's just see some justice served here and learn some new stuff along the way and make some new friends. And thank you everyone for being here and for supporting Heidi and her channel too, because she's an amazing person. So good night, guys. I love you. Thank you for having me.
Bye, Stephanie. Bye. Okay, so guys, I'm just gonna say thank you all for coming back. We had an issue earlier with YouTube. There was a lot of lagging. There was a lot of spinning. I want to say thank you guys for being here. Stephanie, I appreciate all of your input. Wanda, please contact me. Send me an email. I will send you my phone number and we can talk. And I tried my best to be respectful to all involved. I'm not trying to take sides. I'm not trying to be biased. I just look at everything that's out there and I offer my opinion on what I've seen. So that's all I do. My opinion. I'm going to see what turns out on Monday. And again, I will give you guys an update on what happens in court on Monday. So I appreciate all of you guys for being here. And I'm going to say good night to everyone, and you guys have a good evening. Be safe, and it's getting ready to rain here again in Texas. Good night, guys. Bye.